Hey, everybody.
What's going on, Tonya?
Okay, let me.
Just waiting on Mark to get in here.
Okay, perfect. We're live on YouTube right now, and Facebook and Twitch. But let me go ahead and record and run the analytics.
Already. We're live on Beam too, so if you guys want to hop on Beam, speak, I'll bring you guys up. What's going on, Big Love? There he goes, the man of the hour. Oh boy.
That's it. Hello?
What's going on, Mark?
How's it going? All right.
What's going on, brother?
Oh, not much. Are you well? What's your name again?
My name's Geno.
Oh, Geno. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm in Spain here at the moment, and I've got it's just a little bit of a problem because all good to speak, but I've got one internet, and my wife's doing an interview at the same time, and then our son is upstairs. He's 6, and he's watching something. So we're kind of it might be difficult at some stage, but all good.
We're all good. We're gonna have
Give
a
me
good
2 minutes, okay? My app just locked out, but we're streaming. Just give me 2 minutes because that's the one I want to cut up in snippets.
shout out to everybody on Beam who could see me right now. If y'all want to come up and speak, just let me know. I think that might be Tess. What's up, Tess? GM. Just retweet the room for us. How's everybody doing today, though? Y'all all good? It's a rainy day here in Atlanta, man. All right.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm Monique. I'm
How you doing, Mom?
good. I'm also in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I am actually working over here at Tyler Perry Studios and listening to the spaces at the same time.
How long have you been working at Tyler Perry Studios?
I've been working off and on here for probably at least the last 3-4 years. I go, I'll work here, then I'll leave and I'll do another movie or something, then I'll come back, and just kind of the cycle.
Okay. I was gonna ask my cousin Leah Gunner. She's a editor for movies, but she started out with Tyler Perry at his studio when she first graduated from college.
Okay.
She did her internship there, so I thought you might have knew her.
I'm in costumes. I'm the supervisor for different shows, different costume departments.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but I'm also a filmmaker, and delving into this whole Web3 space, trying to get myself, get some of these projects I'm doing onto NFTs.
Well, you're in the perfect place. You're in the perfect place. Beam, we're #1 platform when it comes to this Web3 film thing. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, I'm glad
Yeah,
to be here.
glad to have you
Thank
here.
you so much.
No doubt. All right, everybody. Appreciate everybody coming today. Today's virtual film festival. I like to start it off like I always do. introducing my fine host, Tonya Scholz. Tonya, how you doing?
I'm running a lot of software. Good. Hi, everybody. I gotta know everything. What's going on around here? How's it going? I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to this. You know what I love about every week when we do this? Everyone, their story, but also the empowerment, like how far they have gone and where they are today. It's so incredible. I love hearing it and how what their process is. So I'm happy to be here. And She Crypto, as always, thank you for all your support. And I'm loving our collaboration with Beem. And hey, Tess, actually, I was just talking about Beem. I was like, is there any way I can like have a DJ play on there and sell tickets? I was just wondering. Let me bring her up. But yeah, we're looking forward to chatting with you.
We got the Flinch guys in the house tonight. I love that film. That film is so dope, man. But the man of the hour today, Mark O'Connor. I'm excited about this one. What's going on, Mark?
Yeah, how's it going? Sorry, my son here it just needs to go to the toilet. Sorry about this. It's just because I'm here on the call and my wife's doing an interview at the same time. So I'm just trying to help him.
I love that so much, Mark.
It's all good, man.
He just timed
Mark,
it perfectly.
for Father's Day, I'm gonna take this clip. I'm gonna cut it up. I'm gonna send it to you as a gift. So this way, on this day, you can remember what it's like to juggle, to be an interviewer plus being a great dad at the same time. Thank you for sticking with us.
Okay, thanks. You okay, Michael? Yeah.
This is a comfortable interview.
I'm just gonna need to help him now in a sec. Yeah, no, it's good. I just see there's a few people on there. Dane is on there. Dane was the lead actor in one of the projects I wrote and directed called Darklands, a TV show.
Okay, what's going on, Dane? Let me bring him up. So, first off, I'd like to get started before I start diving into your films. Just tell us about how you got started in film. What inspired you, who inspired you, and if you went to film school and stuff like that. And
yeah, like, so I've been making films since I was a kid, really. Just I started off. My uncle was a filmmaker back in the 70s, and I just got really into movies when I was a kid. This is in the late 80s, and I was watching, The Warriors and Rambo: First Blood and all these films down at my brother's friend's house. So I got kind of really into movies then, and then when I was about 14, I got a lend of a camera off a friend, and we shot. I was into Bruce Lee at the time, and we shot a fight scene, and it was through the process of putting the whole thing together, like, trying to film it and do camera shots, and I did little storyboards, little pictures, and I had to find a way to edit it. So I had to buy like an old Vision 200 editing desk that I got in the city, and I spent just hours and hours and days and weeks they had little faders and little cross fades. It was a really basic thing back then, and I had two VHS players next to each other. So I'd spend just, weeks just editing these little short films, and then I kind of, that developed, and then eventually I started writing and writing little stories or little films. And I did that throughout my teens, and probably made about 50 short films. And then I ended up going to college to do business because my dad, wanted me to do something like that, but I wasn't into it at all. So I dropped out of that, and I felt I wanted to do something in media. So, but I wasn't sure. I didn't realize it was a film director. You could do that as a career, and I went and did a year in media studies where there was photography, video production, and it was through that then I realized, it's filmmaking that I want to do. That's when I realized that's what I want to do in college. And I heard about a college course in Ballyfermot. It was one of the only film courses in Dublin, because I'm from Ireland, obviously, and it was a 2-year course. So I got into. I didn't get into the first year round. I didn't get in with my portfolio because I went to London and shot a scene. My sister was working at the BBC at the time, and she lent me a camera and we shot a little kind of short film, and it was almost too professional looking. So the teachers didn't let me in because they felt someone else had helped me with it. So what I did was I went away then and I worked in the theater for a year, and I was working in different, theater productions, working at stage management, like, backstage, building sets. And then I made some more films with my friends, with a small little 8mm camera. And then I went back next year and I got in that time with the teachers, and they accepted me into college. So I got into, and I did 2 years, was a higher national diploma in film operations and production in Ballyfermot. And that was a good course, but you didn't really get to direct much. So I only got to direct like a 1-minute short film, and 2 scripts out of 25 were chosen at the end of the year. And mine was a post-apocalyptic Western. It had horses in it, and the teacher said we couldn't pick it because it had horses. And so I decided after that then that I wanted to study more, and I went to New York then, and I went to the New York Film Academy in Manhattan, and I studied there. I think it was 3-month course over there. I worked in the Bronx for 3 years to save the money up for the course. So I was working furniture removal and demolition in the South Bronx there. And just like I didn't have a bank account because it was illegal. I was going to Canada back and forth to renew my tourist visa, and I saved up, probably $4,000 or something back then, which just a big wad of cash that I had underneath my mattress. And I went into New York Film Academy and I booked in, and they were shooting on film back then. So I got to shoot 4 short films on 16mm, which was amazing. And I learned more in that course than I did in 2 years in Ballyfermot. So that was great time. And so I did that. And then from that, then I went back to Ireland, and I was working in London. I was living in London then for 2 years, and it was difficult to find work in the industry. Like I was trying to find work as a runner and here in productions, but I wanted to write and direct. So I was always writing little scripts and developing ideas, and I thought I'll start writing a feature film, but I just couldn't get it down on paper, like the full feature. And so then, I met my wife Beatrice, and I think at that moment then I just became a little bit more focused in my writing, and I was able to put down the whole feature script onto paper then. And I was working as I did some work for the BBC because my sister was there as a camera assistant, and then I actually got a job self-shooting director there, but I decided to quit and to go back to Ireland and to try to get this feature film off the ground. And I was lucky, I managed to bring on the Irish Film Board, and I made it then for a low budget. It was $100,000, which was plenty of money to make a feature film then. And that was Between the Canals. So that was my my first feature film. Is everyone still there, or is the
Yeah,
internet
we're still
working?
here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
We're here.
Okay. So yeah, oh yeah, sorry. He's just calling me there. Marco's calling
I
me
was
there.
gonna
Sorry.
ask how the developments are going over there.
Yeah, he's just ready now. So just give me 1 sec. Sorry.
While he deals with that, I don't know if you guys have gotten
I
a
love
chance.
this. I love this. I really do. I love, and you know what it is? Because it's the kind of chat that you want. It's so spontaneous, but you get to watch Mark be a father at the same time. I love this.
That's dope, right? I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at any of his films, but he's such a dope filmmaker. And what I like about Mark, it's like when you look at one of his films, you could tell it's a Mark O'Connor film. It's like how you it's that certain what do they call it? Je ne sais quoi? Like Quentin Tarantino. You know a Quentin Tarantino film when you see it. His films are such a treat. Over the weekend, I watched 2 of them and I was blown away. I I want to speak about one because I'm a huge boxing fan, and right now one of my favorite boxers is the heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury. And I don't know if you guys know anything about Tyson Fury and his upbringing, but his family, they're a traveling family. I don't know if you guys know anything about, the traveling culture in Europe and Ireland, but his family is a traveling family, and the men in his family were great street fighters. I think
Yeah.
he had I think it's called a Gypsy King, where you go undefeated. He had a Gypsy King on his father's side and his mother's side. So those genes made him a great boxer. So I watched The Travelers and I was blown away. And I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to make that film?
Yeah, that's interesting you say that. Tyson Fury, has got a lot of respect in Ireland because, well, he's obviously, amazing boxer, but he would be a traveler now going back. Like he calls himself a gypsy, but like he's related to Andy Lee, and Andy Lee's gypsy, and same as Packy. Do you know Johnny Dogs in Peaky Blinders?
No, I do not.
So in
Yes, I
Peaky
do.
Blinders, there's a gypsy character in Peaky Blinders, Johnny Dogs, and he's in my film King of the Travelers. But so they're all related. But yeah, Tyson Fury's family was Irish going back traveler. But no, it's just I've had a lot of connections to travelers growing up. When I was a kid, my mother was very friendly with Mrs. Morehouse, the Morehouse family from Bray, and I'd be making them sandwiches. They'd call in the house, they'd be like, because they used to beg then, they'd be begging and they'd be calling to your house. And when I'm doing my homework for school, I'd make them sandwiches, make them a pot of tea or whatever. And so there was the connection there. And then when I was about 17 or 16, I was on down in British Bay, down in Wicklow, with a load of friends on a beach, and it was like 3 a.m, and I had a stereo, and a load of travelers came along, and I basically got like attacked because they wanted to get the stereo off me and stuff, and I got smashed over the head with a big lump of driftwood, and it cracked my head open, and like there was blood everywhere and stuff, and I had to get 8 stitches in my head. Now that was another incident that just a connection to travelers, and I didn't have any bad feelings towards the traveling community because of that incident, because that could happen anywhere in any community. It could have happened in Dublin, wherever. Like, so it was just something that happened, and I just always wanted to make a film in that community. So I just started researching and just going around to different halting sites, traveler sites, and working with a traveler actor, Michael Collins, who was one of the only actors in Ireland who's from the traveling community. So worked with him and wrote the script, and then we were lucky to get it made, because not that many films get made in Ireland by travelers. So it was brilliant to get it made, and I tried to cast mostly real travelers in the movie, so it's not they're not actors, because sometimes you get that where it's just really fake. So I tried to get there was a couple of actors in there who did some really good research, and Packy Lee would be one of those. He's kind of like a traveler, but he settled. But mostly the background people and the extras and the supporting roles were all real travelers.
Wow,
Yeah, but it's
get out of
interesting
here.
you saw that. I didn't realize you could see that now. I think it's on Amazon, I think, but I'm not sure where else it is.
I watched it on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's super fascinating, Mark. It would be awesome
Great
to do
movie.
a screening on Beem sometime and get like these little director's anecdotes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we definitely need to get Mark on Beam. Most definitely.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was watching Cameron's film Flinch, a bit of that on Beam, and I just found it fascinating the way it's interactive, and you can chat. You can have like a Q&A after and before, and then you can comment during the film. it was unbelievable. Like the way to watch a film Web3. That's obviously the future.
Yeah, it's the future, man. I tell Tess all the time. Beam of the future.
Yeah.
We have lots to build still, but this is really like, honestly, it's very much still just like the very early stages and our first product. So glad that you see the potential. Definitely moving more in the Web3 direction. But yeah, love supporting this community. And it could be a Starseed co-branded event, or just whatever you can imagine. We've done some cool stuff with She Crypto also, but maybe we even think about like an Irish film collective community that we could build a special page for. I don't know, up to you guys. Whatever you dream, we can create.
Yeah, well, there's a guy there that's looking after the Irish Film Fund. I think he's connected to Decentralized Pictures, and I think he's Irish. I had back and forth text with him. I'm not sure his name, but he's on the call here. He's listening in. So.
Oh yeah, there you go. I just threw up a heart. What's going on?
Amazing.
Oh,
So
yeah,
are you're a
Irish
boxing
Film
fan?
Fund. That's it.
You're a boxing fan too, Mark? I would love for that would be so dope if Tyson Fury would be able to see that film somehow.
Oh yeah, no, Tyson saw the film.
Oh, he has.
Yeah. No, he did, because he's good friends with John Connors. Like, John's the lead actor in it, and he's a traveler, and he's pretty well known. John was the lead in a crime series, Love Hate, and or one of the leads, and John's been quite a few Irish movies, but King of the Travelers was his first movie, and John is actually the lead in Stalker. The other film, which which this talk is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about Stalker, but yeah, John Connors is the lead in that with Barry Keoghan.
Okay. Awesome. That's coming out in May. I think it's the 22nd.
Yeah, so the 21st of May, we're going to release a full feature film movie called Stalker, and Barry Keoghan is in the lead role. Barry was in Eternals, and he's the Joker in the new Batman. Although it's only for one scene.
Nice.
And yeah, like we're releasing basically like a bundle, so it's like a movie bundle. So there's going to be 1,000 generative characters, Stalker characters. They're called Stalkers. There's going to be 500 copies of the script. We're going to have 500 copies of this shooting schedule. We're going to have popcorn NFTs in there. We're going to have the making of, and then the movie. So there's going to be a whole bundle that's going to go live on OpenSea on the 21st of May, and we're going to do a launch in from the Cannes Film Festival.
Wow, let's go. That's huge. That's huge. That's awesome. I can't wait till that drops.
Yeah, I pinned it to the nest.
No,
it's above
to what? Sorry,
I pinned your announcement. Is from Stalker Movie. I pinned it to the nest so everyone can look at it and retweet it.
Okay, brilliant.
Oh yeah, we definitely got to make that an event too.
And I'll tell you, I'll just tell you quickly, the history behind Stalker, because so I made Stalker 10 years ago, but it was made as a self-distributed, crowd-funded movie. So it was made in the spirit of Web3, like everything about it was that. And I released a manifesto about freedom for the artist, and I think very connected to what's happening now. But we weren't in a position to release it globally, because back then, you didn't have the opportunity to do that. And now the technology is there to finally release Stalker, and nobody has seen, it was only seen in Dublin at two film festivals, and then it was never released outside of that. So this is the first time that the movie will ever have been seen, and you know, Barry Keoghan is the lead in it, and Barry's obviously blown up huge now since that. That was his first starring role, his first feature film, and his first well, sorry, it wasn't his first feature film. He was in my other film, Between the Canals, first in a small role, but it was his first lead role. So, and it's the funny thing is, we even did a game for the movie back then. It was almost like a play to earn game back then. Unfortunately, you know, the guy that made the game, he's lost the game, and it's a pity. So we're going to include some of the art from the game, but we don't have the game. And he's gone on now he made, you know, a lot of money from crypto. He lives in Portugal now, and he's developing a metaverse a computer game, which he thinks is going to be big. And he's got a short film that's playing in Cannes. It's a VR film called Glimpse. It's a short. So Michael O'Connor, but he's the guy who made the original Stalker video game. So we have a lot of content with Stalker because it was never released, and we have all this. And that's the great thing about, you know, movies. There's so much content there that you can have, and that's why I feel like you can release a movie as NFTs, and people, like, it's an experiment. I haven't seen it done that much before, but I'm hoping that Stalker sells, because it's a like the price of the NFT is going to be $200, but there's so much in there, like, you know, there's going to be, you know, the characters and the movie, the making of, and posters, unseen posters and photos. So there's all these things in there that we're going to release with it. And it's actually the 10th anniversary. The 21st of May is the 10th anniversary for the movie. So and it was made on a very low budget. It was crowdfunded. The total budget was 15 grand. Tiny budget compared to my other films. But it's very much in the spirit of Web3, and it's going to be interesting to finally release it in that way, the way that it should have been released, you know, all along. And yeah, so that's it, really.
Wow. I don't think you're gonna have any problem selling any of that material, man, because the Web3 film community, we support our filmmakers. Elena sold out, Flinch selling crazy. So
Wow.
you know, you're definitely gonna be able to move.
Yeah, like
that Stalker memory.
The community seems unbelievable. Like I've just been getting to know the different communities, because I wasn't really involved. I wasn't checking out Twitter Spaces and these things. I was just kind of focusing. I was working with MovieCoin in the UK, you know, on all the NFT stuff, and I wasn't really online, you know. And then when I found all this stuff, I've just been following all the different filmmakers, and it's fascinating, you know. Like I've been seeing Miguel with Caladita and Flinch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's just getting to know them all, and it seems like an amazing community.
Bunch of pioneers supporting pioneers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's it.
I think you're going to be very successful on that front. Now I want to discuss one of my favorite films of yours. I think you already know what that is. Cardboard Gangsters. That film was amazing. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was, at the end of the movie, I don't want to give it away, but you made my heart drop. I was like, no! I was watching it with my lady, and we called it out. We was like, don't go back. Don't go back there. And
yeah, Jay.
It was crazy. My heart dropped. That was the first time that's happened in a while. I was like, yeah, Mark did that, man. That's such an awesome film, especially if you're a fan of that real gangster shit, you know what I'm saying? So that was really dope. And just explain that movie, explain how you got inspired. I would love to hear it.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. Well, you know, I've been inspired from watching gangster films going right back to Mean Streets and Goodfellas, but you know, Cardboard Gangsters was heavily inspired by the hood film genre in North America. So, you know, like Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, all those classic movies. you know, and we grew up watching those movies, you know. So that was a huge influence, and it was weird because even though it was influenced by it, we didn't kind of like we didn't copy it. We didn't set out to copy anything. It was all very like just Irish, like even the rap in it, you know, it's Irish hip hop in the movie, which is weird, but like that's a big community as well in Ireland, like, you know, and they would have all grown up in the you know, listening to, you know, Wu Tang and you know, Easy E and all these guys. So the rappers, you know, ended up, you know, doing lots of music first, and a lot of those rappers are actually from Darndale, the area, the community that we shot in, which is it's a little community. It's a very small neighborhood in North Dublin, which, you know, has a lot of troubles, you know, from, you know, gangs and you know, violent crime. A lot of stuff has happened recently with feuds and stuff. So, but yeah, like the story came originally from John Connors, because John starred in Stalker and starred in King of the Travelers, and he kind of was working on the script with, you know, I was giving him feedback and he was developing it for a good while we were doing Stalker and while we were working together on other things. And eventually, like, you know, he said to me, would I come on board and you know, direct it for him, and if he gives me the script and I could do a draft. So then I worked on it for 9 months, and it became then what it was. The two of us, you know, spent a lot of time in Darndale together, you know, doing research about different incidents that had happened, you know, from the chainsaw scene, like, you know, stuff that happened to John, all this real stuff. And I said, John, we have to put all this real stuff in there, you know, even his father, like, you know, the suicide of his father, you know. And I said, John, we need to make this personal. So we made it very personal to him, and it's because it's his story, you know. It's about him, you know, before he got into a film and before he got into acting. And
Wow.
you know, it's all about John. And so I just because I just wanted to bring more of that stuff in and just make it more personal. And then, you know, we developed the soundtrack and we brought in rappers, and we you know, the script developed, and then eventually we went to get it made, and we actually didn't get funding from the film board, because I think I released a manifesto, as I said, when I did Stalker, and the manifesto was all about freedom for the artist, rage against the, you know, the conventional Hollywood dribble that you get in the cinemas. And I was trying to you know, make something different. And I think I probably rubbed a few people up the wrong way with that. And like, you know, people that were, you know, in charge of the money in the government agencies in Ireland. And we didn't get funding then. And I got turned down a few times over probably about 4 years. And eventually we just found a way to make it without the support of, you know, the Irish Film Board, even though the Irish Film Board now did support me on King of the Travelers. So they were very supportive, but they just probably, you know, they weren't into Cardboard Gangsters. But then it went on to, you know, win you know, it won 7 awards at the Manchester Film Festival, Best Film, won the Newport Beach Film Festival in LA, and it became the highest grossing movie of the year in the box office in Ireland. It made 700 grand just in Ireland in the Irish box office. And then it sold to Netflix, you know, went to Netflix Global then. And it's been trending on Netflix for 7 years, and they've been renewing the contract. But, you know, for me, like the contract we got from Netflix was tiny. Like it was we sold the film for 100 grand, and, you know, it's been trending for 7 years. And I feel like if it probably made them a few million, you know, with the amount of people that watched it. Because we were having comments and emails from all around the world, from Australia, from, you know, New York, everywhere, like. And so that's why I love Web3 and the idea of you know, giving more power to the artists and the creators, where it should have always been. Because, you know, I feel like it's been stolen from the creators and the artists, you know. Like, even if you take the waterfall where the money goes, like for us with Cardboard Gangsters as an example, you know, 70% when we released in the cinema, 70% went to the cinema. The 30% that was left over, then you had to pay like 50% to the distributor, you know, Wildcard. Now they were a great distributor, but this is just how it works when you're distributing a movie, you know. So then the 50% that's left from that, then you had to pay like something, I think it was like 40 grand marketing fees, which was to do all the kind of posters and the marketing, like putting it up on buses and all this stuff that you don't necessarily need in Web3, or when you release on Beem or Vabble on a blockchain distribution platform in the future, you know. So you know, you end up with like, you know, a tiny amount of money in comparison to what that movie actually took in terms of revenue. And for me, that's why I'm interested in, well, there's a lot of reasons I'm into Web3. Like I love the way the community is building, and I love the freedom for the artists. But it's also, you know, it's the artist, you know, finally, you know, been able to, you know, have control of their work. And I've always wanted to have, you know, control in terms of like owning the movies that you have and getting them released the correct way, and not having people telling you you have to do this and you have to change this. And you know, because I've had that, like Dane, who's listening in, will know well, like Dane, who was the lead actor in Darklands, which was a 6-part crime drama that we made. Dane was only 15 when we made it, and he was unbelievable in it. And it's about an MMA fighter who gets drawn into a criminal world when his brother goes missing. And Darklands premiered in the UK on Virgin Media, and it was in Ireland, and you know, across it's in Australia now. But they kind of almost like took the scripts off me at one stage, and they were very, you know, they were kind of, it was a very difficult process, you know, the whole process to get it done, to get it made, to get it funded, and then actually when we were shooting. And so yeah, I just absolutely love Web3 because Stalker was made in Web3, and that was the most fun that I've ever had in making movies, was when I made Stalker, because total freedom, you know, and there was no one telling you like you have to make your movie a certain way. And it's not that I'm not open to collaboration. I absolutely love, you know, working with people. It's the part of this business that I love the most, actually, you know, collaborating with people. But not when people are saying, no, you can't do this and you can't do that for these, and they don't give you reasons for it, you know. And also the process of trying to find funding can take years, and you get stuck in development hell. So I just, yeah, I just love I love Web3 and the whole way it's works. It's the most exciting revolution and movement for me, you know, since the French New Wave, or since British New Wave, or Italian neorealism. It's unbelievable. I'm so excited to be a part of it, or to be a small part of it.
Absolutely, and it's taken off so quick. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's a great outlet for filmmakers, and I can't wait to see. We have to get you on Beem. We got to get Cardboard Gangsters on Beem. We got to get the Travelers on Beem. That's where you deserve to be, bro. Your films are iconic. They're iconic, and I just want to see you prosper, man. People have to see your films. You've done amazing work. And you were saying how you were inspired by those gangster flicks from United States, but it's like you put your own little spin on it. It was like when I was watching Cardboard Gangsters, I didn't think anything about Menace to Society or Boys in the Hood or stuff like that, because you really made it your own. And yeah, that's something to be admired, bro. You killed that one.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah. So yeah, like we're getting ready just to shoot this next film, which is called We Can, and it's happening in Cannes. We're going over. Dane's coming over, and we've got a really good cast, and we're shooting. It's just like a promo we're shooting for the movie, and it's going to be a Web3 film. We're working with MovieCoin in the UK, and we're hoping to, you know, get this off the ground. So we've raised enough to just make the promo. And yeah, so we like the script is done and everything, and it's actually a different genre. It's comedy drama, but we've written a trailer, like I've finished a trailer just specifically for the shoot, so that we can, you know, put it out there. And we're gonna do a big massive NFT drop. So we have a photographer coming out there, and he's an NFT creator, and he's gonna take 3,000 photographs on set of the actors on set in Cannes, and then we're gonna turn those into NFTs, and we're gonna take some behind the scenes footage in Cannes and turn those into like 30-second clips, NFTs. So that's kind of what we're building towards at the moment, and we're working towards. We Can is up there in OpenSea now, and there's NFTs up there. The original drop that I put up, they were quite expensive. They were like $5,000 each, you know, for an NFT, and I was just learning, like, this is a learning process for me and for everyone, I suppose. And I realized, like, that they were they were way too much, you know. But the thing is that they represent, you know, a stake in the movie, and it was 0.14% of all the profits that the movie makes. So we released the other day cheaper versions, which are, you know, $100 or $300. Now they are a lesser stake, so they represent uh, a, a smaller stake, and basically whatever the amount you put in is equal to the exact amount in terms of the budget. So the total budget that we're aiming for is 2.5 million, you know, which we're hoping to make 100% crypto financed. But, you know, so whoever buys an NFT, whatever their stake that they put in will be reflective of, how do you say it? It's hard to describe what I'm saying, but it's basically like the percentage will equal, you know, the amount you put in, of what you get back in profits. Yeah.
Wow. Again, I don't think you shouldn't have a problem, bro, moving any of those. People be crazy to miss out.
Yeah, like when we put up the drop, it was a bit unusual because we kind of put it up there cold, you know, and it's almost kind of a bit sterile up there. We didn't really build a community, and that was a problem at the start. So now we're just starting to build that, and you know, I think you obviously need to do that before you put out the drop. And I know there's been other really successful drops, like Julie Pacino's one was amazing, and Caladita seems to be doing well as well, and so yeah, we're going to build a community and just bring people in, and we're going to offer some amazing rewards where people can be on set with us in Cannes, and they can come to the premiere, and all these different rewards we're going to have. And we're gonna, yeah, I think the drop that we do in May is going to be better because you're going to see the actors and you're going to see the camera crew that we have. Like, it's unbelievable. We have 3 trucks coming from Ireland, and they're driving over on the boat, and so we're going to have like cranes, and we're going to have you know, sliders, and you know, all the equipment to make this promo, you know, really 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 good. And the cast that we have are great as well. Like Peter Coonan is in the co-lead. He's one of the biggest actors in Ireland. He was in King of the Travellers. He was the lead, one of the leads in that, and he played Mickey the Bags in King of the Travellers. But he's in, you know, he's in the new season of Peaky Blinders, and he's been in loads of stuff. So he's in We Can. He's the co-lead, and then the other co-lead is Fionn Walton, who actually he played Dano in Cardboard Gangsters. Do you remember Dano, who was the kind of lunatic with the skint haircut? Geno.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's actually quite an upper class guy, and he ended up playing like the roughest character in Cardboard Gangsters, which was so weird because I used a lot of real guys from Darndale in Cardboard Gangsters, but Dano, he's an actor, and he's playing Leopold, the lead actor in We Can. So it's going to be a complete change for Fionn, but I've seen him in some other things which are quite similar, and he's really, really good. He's brilliant, and he's going to look different with his longer hair and his beard and stuff. And then we have Mary Murray, who's going to play the agent of the characters, because it's about 2 best friends who go on a trip to the Cannes Film Festival to try to break into the industry and sell their screenplay, and they come up against a lot of barriers, and they're struggling artists. One's an actor and one's a screenwriter, and he's written this screenplay, and his best friend is quite crazy, you know, Kingsley, and he wants to be the lead role in Leopold's script, but they end up going to Cannes, and Kingsley promises him if he comes to Cannes, they can, you know, meet investors, and they can meet the head of Talkie Stream, which is like the new Netflix, and they'll get a meeting on the yacht, on the super yacht. And but it turns out when Kingsley brings him over to Cannes, it turns out that the free accommodation that he promised him was actually like a man that owns the house. His name is Gaspard, and he's a French erotic filmmaker from the 70s, famous in that scene, and he wants to direct Leo's screenplay. So Leo's not happy at all. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you've seen the movies like The Odd Couple or Sideways or Swingers from the 90s, where you've got these two best friends that go on a journey together, and they're like kind of like oil and water, and they're kind of argue about everything. But it's kind of in that genre, like a road trip drama comedy. And so yeah, we're heading over on the 15th of March, and we're shooting on the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in Cannes. And then we'll be hanging out at the festival, you know, for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. And we're releasing Stalker on the Saturday at a panel in Cannes as well.
That sounds epic. I can't wait to watch it.
So it should be fun. If anyone's around Cannes, if anyone's going over to Cannes, they're welcome to drop by set, you know, the villa or whatever, and drop into us.
Sweet. So
Yeah.
you guys hear that? Anybody in the room?
Hey, Mark,
'Cause
I
I
just
think-
want to ask you a quick question also. I mean, I just went before we in our hour, but let me ask you something. Since I was doing crowdfunding, I actually helped just kind of consult crowdfunding for filmmakers. How was it compared to launching that to an NFT project, like a film NFT, compared with that? Because you know, I've been talking about how crowdfunding was done for filmmakers, and but it was a long process. You really, like the filmmaker, what I work with, I really had to break down their value. You know, they didn't quite understand how they can get perks, how they can get more donations, how they, you know, different things. But it was a lot of work for them. But now here we are, you know, 2022, and it's NFT, film NFT. So you going into this, how long did it take you to develop your whole project? In that sense, to say, hey, we're going to offer these type of utility, we're going to do this. And when was it that moment in time that you say, hey, I'm going to start funding my project in an NFT? Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, a lot of filmmakers never even thought about crowdfunding. So you're like the first filmmaker that I've met in a space that talked about crowdfunding, because no one's ever said anything to me about it. And now you're an NFT. I'd like to know more. Where were you? And what inspired you to do this?
Yeah, like that's a good question, because it's funny, but like Stalker was done as crowdfunding, so I feel like I've been through all this before, but it's actually very different as well, because NFTs are it's different process, and how you know, making the NFTs and the market and stuff. Because when we did Stalker, we were really it was just Irish based, and it was Dublin based, and it was done through a website called fundit.ie. And Stalker was actually the first ever crowdfunded feature film made in Ireland. Now, I don't know if it was the first global, it probably wasn't the first global one, but it was the first Irish crowdfunded feature film. We made it in 2012. And I remember going through, like, it was a lot of work, but it was really, really exciting work. It was really, because we had to come up with a reward system. So you had, like, for €10 investment, you'd get like a voice message from the lead actor. For €50, you get, to come onto the set and hang out for the day and shadow the director, myself. And then, for €100, you get to be an associate producer. For €200, you're an executive producer. You get to walk the red carpet. And we ended up having about, 20 different categories of rewards. And so when this whole Web3 thing kicked off, like last year for me, and it's been percolating in my head for a long time, because I started off, thinking about the idea of setting up something like a DAO. And I went through the process back in November or December of actually developing the idea to set up like a movie coin. Movie coin are a company in the UK. They're amazing, and they're helping me with We Can, and they've done the artwork for the NFTs and stuff. But my original idea was actually to do a company like that. But then I thought to myself, like, I'm a filmmaker. What am I doing here? I don't want to run a company. Like, I want to just get films made, and because that's what I'm all about and passionate about. So, but I just didn't know that those company that actual studio which would help you fund it existed. I knew about the NFTs, so that's when I contacted them. I threw some. Oh, sorry, Manco. Sorry, sorry. My son wasn't happy. I think I said stupid. He was not happy with me saying that. Sorry about that, Manco. Um, So yeah, so yeah, it's very kind of connected to NFTs. It's a similar kind of path, when you're developing an NFT drop, but it's different as well because this is global. This is a movement right across the world. Everybody on this call is probably from different countries. So and the NFTs, I'm still learning about how you can connect with an audience. I feel like you need to build the audience. You need to, I think Julie Pacino's drop was really, really amazing the way because it works so well because there was these photographic images. She took them on the set in the rehearsal process, and you could see what those images were. You knew that this is a real filmmaker making an actual movie, and these are from the film, and they were beautiful pieces of art because they were, she spent a lot of time obviously on those images, on making those images. So I think the mistake we made when we were doing the first drop for We Can, we did beautiful images, the paintings, we spent a few weeks, we had an artist do those, but there was no connection to the actors or the movie maker or, the real actual movie. So people seeing those on OpenSea, they'd be probably thinking, what are these? Like, they're just, artistic images, paintings, but how do I know that this movie's going to get made? So I think this is just such a learning process for me, and I'm learning from everybody in the community, from following them. I think everyone's learning from each other, and no one knows exactly the way at the moment. But I've learned a hell of a lot in the last 4 or 5 months. My God, I've learned so much, and I think everybody probably has. It's moving so fast, and I've got a lot planned. Like with the We Can drop, the next drop is going to be much more engaging and much more connected to the community and building the community, and through Discord and Stalker as well. Like with Stalker, we've got a fully finished movie there, and I think it's going to be one of the first movies to test this model of releasing the film as an NFT, and seeing if that works, because I see a model in the future where you could have, a superhero film like Batman, and they could release, say, 10,000 NFTs, and they charge, say, $500 per NFT, and that could release the exact same day as the actual movie goes live on a blockchain distributor, right? So, and imagine that, and inside that $500 NFT, you think like, why are people going to pay that? But if you had like loads of loads of things in there, like Batman characters, you had interviews, making ofs, and you had all these like extras in there, I think that they would sell out. I honestly think that they would sell out. So I think that that's the future model, where you can release your movie, as NFTs, but you can also release at the same time on a blockchain distributor, which is a much better way than releasing on a streamer like Netflix or Amazon, where those guys are getting paid 40 million a year, like all the staff, and really that money is should be for the investors, the filmmakers, all the people that are involved in the actual making of the movies. And what I love as well about this space is the fact that investors can get taken in, and that they can make, hopefully, I know there's a lot of issues and it's still, up in the air, the whole SEC in North America and what's going to happen there. But, if it's artwork which can be, looked upon as a royalty that can go up in value. So that's what we're looking upon it as, an investment in We shouldn't really call it is an investment, really. It's more like you're buying a piece of art, which pays out royalties.
I love your answer, by the way. And I had that aha moment when I was just listening. I'm obsessed with music NFTs, and like I haven't had, to be honest with you, I love watching on from Beem, but I'm kind of curious because I'm obsessed, also big into VR. But I was thinking, remember when the DVD came out? Remember when the CDs came out? People started collecting, right? And now I tell people don't want to own actual stuff. They want to have an experience. They want to have an experience. So when they collect on something from a film, they want to have experience when they're watching that film. And to do that, they can have with your token, with your utility, a person who owns it can really really emerge into your whole film because they're paying for the experience. I'm telling you, when you have a movie and you have swags and you have different things that go with it, and people, their friends get dressed up, you have things that make people come together, and I don't know about you guys, but back in my day, I did survivor parties. It was a huge thing. We all put $5 in to see who's going to get voted off the island, and that was huge for us. And now imagine that for Web3 for films like this.
Yeah, no,
Sky's the limit.
it's unbelievable, and you're so correct there because and when I saw Flinch, you know, when I was watching it on Beam, I hadn't gone in. I don't know why I hadn't. I knew about Beam. I have Beam on my phone, but it was only when I went in and I watched Flinch, and it really dawned on me. Like, it was like, this is the future. Like, how people are going to watch movies. Like, especially younger people, they're going to invite their friends. You're going to be watching, you know, movies in your living room, and all your friends are going to be connected, and you're going to be commenting. And that's just the way of the future. And maybe certain movies are going to suit that platform as well to start off with. I thought Flinch is interesting because it's kind of got that Web3, you know, kind of thing to it. And Stalker is 100% got that. It's really out there. Like, it's a mad film until maybe the space gets much more, you know, widespread and global and commercial. And then you'll have all the different genres that coming in. But I think the films that are going to thrive initially are going to be, you know, those ones that are a little bit out there, and they're like maybe a sci-fi, or, you know, because a sci-fi, there's so many things you could do there in terms of extras and characters that you can build, NFTs, you know. So it's you're right, like, it's a package, you know, and that's what we're trying to release with Stalker. We're trying to do a package, and it's like the full movie package. Because when I was growing up, you know, when I was in the 90s, and you were watching special editions, I used to watch the making ofs and the commentary, and, you
I
know,
was
all these
obsessed with
things.
that. Obsessed.
Yeah, I'd almost watch that more than I'd watch the movies. Like, I would just be watching that constantly. Like, I was obsessed, and that got completely stripped away. That got taken away by the streamers. They wiped that whole industry clean. Now you can go to YouTube and you can look up a making of, but it's not the same as having, you know, a special edition of The Godfather and having all the extras there, and you go through each of them, you know. And like, the streamers took that industry away. They cleaned it out, and they've cleaned out the whole industry. And finally, that's going to come back. Like, that's with Stalker, we're bringing that back. We're going to have the making of, the interviews on set, all of that's coming back. And that's what's really exciting about this, because it's like real movie making is coming back, you know, for the public.
How dope is that? How amazing is that? I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Sky's the limit, guys.
and like, it's funny, we're even doing these, you know, the characters we're doing that are called stalkers. They're stalkers. We're doing 1,000 of them, and they're going to be in the NFT that we release. We're going to do them like those old badges. Do you remember the old badges you used to collect in the 80s? Those little badges that people would pin to their t-shirts. We're
Yes.
doing them like that.
I still have them. I actually found one. Actually, my mother-in-law had one that says "Vote Nixon," so I have that one.
Right. Yeah, there's a name for them. I can't remember the name, but like, we're doing the Stalker characters like that, you know. Because it's collectibles, you know. That's really, NFTs are almost like collectibles that you can. So, you know, and that's why I feel like a movie could sell for $100, $200, $500, you know, if it's an NFT, and if you have like all these extras, you know, because people are buying bloody apes, and they're buying, you know, mad NFTs every day, you know, for like $500, you know. So why wouldn't they buy a movie bundle pack that could easily go up in value? And that's our goal. Our goal is to sell out Stalker. There's only going to be 1,000 copies released, and when we release on a blockchain distributor, our idea that we're thinking about is that if you want to watch the film, you're going to have to buy the NFT. So you're going to have to actually. So that's going to create trading volume, and, you know, in that trading volume, then.
Mark, I came up on stage because I just wanted to mention that we do token gated events, and we do your own branded space. So it's like your own virtual cinema. So meaning that what you're describing is very much, possible today, but also just getting better.
Sorry, where's that? Is that your own? What company? Who's that?
Oh, sorry, Mark. I'm Tess. I work with our community at Beem. So.
Oh, Beem. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Anyway, keep on. This conversation is really intelligent, and I've been enjoying every second.
Yeah. So no, Beem looks amazing, and I couldn't believe it actually existed, because I was talking to all my friends and people. There's not that many people in crypto, and there's even less people that are in Web3 filmmaking. So you're literally talking to like a tiny amount of people, unless you're talking online. But in terms of meeting friends, so like I was talking to people and I was saying, like, imagine, releasing your movie on a blockchain distribution is going to be huge. And it wasn't until about a month ago that I heard about Beem, because I as I said, like, I was doing all this stuff offline. I was, and the only other guys I knew about there was Rick Dugdale. He's doing the one up in the Antarctica. I think he raised about 90 grand for his movie. So it wasn't until I got onto Twitter and started finding all these other filmmakers that were in Web3. So it was really interesting. But yeah, like when I came across Beem, I downloaded the app and I was like just blown away. And I was like, oh my God, they're already there. Like you've already created this blockchain distributor. And so I started checking it out, and it's amazing the fact that you can do Q&As, and you can have movie nights, and it's phenomenal.
That's so cool. I mean, we've been working on this. The team, I will say, has been working on this for 3 years. I've been working on it since October 2020. So we've been grinding, but as you've seen, things have just absolutely blown up in the last few months. So just glad that we're reaching people across the world, because you guys are the ones that are creating what is really the value that people want to see, but we are just here to build with you and empower you with tools.
And I think you definitely got a home with us, bro. I can't wait to see your films on Beem, and we could definitely do awesome screenings, so I think that would be pretty dope. I appreciate everybody coming out today. This was an awesome virtual film festival. Great conversation. I appreciate you, Mark. Your potential, man, is out of this world. I want you to keep putting out that amazing content, and like I said, sky's the limit for you, brother.
Thank you so much. Thanks a million, and thanks for everyone listening in, and we'll just keep moving forward with it.
Mark, I'm gonna find the story, but I did pin. I think I remember now. I did pin a story about you in 2012, because that's back then I was curating a lot of crowdfunding stuff, and I think your story was it. I'm gonna find it in my Pinterest board, and I'll share it with you in a DM, because it's good. I just thought about that. I was like, that's why it looks so familiar. But it was great.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Wow, this looks so familiar to me. But it's great. I got to know you, and I look forward to our collaboration. And if you have anything exciting, like a press release that you want to chat about, I'll be happy to publish it for you. So, again, we're very happy that you were here, and I look forward to seeing more films from you.
And like how I like to do every week, I like to give you, our guest, the golden movie ticket and throw you in the Starseed Hall of Fame. So we're going to be getting that to you as soon as this space ends. But you are now a Starseed Film and Music Hall of Fame filmmaker, brother.
Oh man,
appreciate you so much.
That's brilliant.
No doubt. All right, guys. Thank you all for coming out today, and we will see you next week with Block of Horror. Take care, guys.